Yet another name that we are familiar with, Fine Minerals International, also here at the Nanjing Show. And again, instead of going and looking at all the great pieces that Daniel is so well known for, bringing to mineral shows around the world, we're going to go chat with him to get his impression of the Nanjing Show and what he's experienced so far and what he's anticipating going into the future. So come on with us. Let's go talk with Daniel Trinchillo from Fine Minerals International.
Cool.
Daniel, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, Brian. Good to see you.
Great to see you, man.
Yeah.
Really happy to see you here. You are always a warm, kind, and comforting face.
Thank you.
I know a lot of the viewers are expecting to go through the incredible pieces that you always bring, but we're talking about Nanjing here, and I would love to get
show.
your feedback on the show. I know you've spent a lot of time in China, so you're somewhat already familiar with the market and some of the shows that have already gone on. Give us like a 30,000-foot view of your thoughts of what they're doing here at Nanjing.
The evolution of shows in China has really come a long way. The first show in Changsha was sort of the first toe in a market that was really untapped in this part of the world, in Asia. And that led to 2 editions there and then another 10 in Shenzhou.
Mm-hmm.
So Mr. Peng is an incredible businessman, but he's also an extremely passionate collector, and he's driven by his motivation to share the awareness of minerals and fossils and gems with the broader community of all of Asia. Historically, if you look at a lot of these shows, or even the market in China and in Asia, it focused around Chinese ornamental stones, decorator stones.
The big pieces.
The large pieces that had different shapes or different meanings that collectors would accumulate and put in their homes, put in their offices, etc. And the dynamic has sort of shifted where the Western tastes have changed, and what we collect in the U.S. and in the European countries are typically smaller, more mineralogically interesting objects because they have multiple different crystals or different contrasts, etc. And that has now come to fruition here, where I feel there's been a shift in the dynamic in collecting, because if you collect these Chinese ornamental stones, you either have to have a significant amount of wealth, because they're not inexpensive, but you also have to have a significant amount of space. Mm-hmm. They're large.
Right.
And to appreciate them, you can't put one in a small room. You have to have the ability to have breadth to it. And so this new change in the dynamic of collecting, I think, is going to lead to an insurgence of thousands of new collectors. And I can see it even from the last time I was here when we did the Shenzhou show in 2019. And then we weren't able to be here during Corona and COVID. And so coming back now for the first time, I'm seeing hundreds of what they call them here called streamers. Mm-hmm. And they're individual sort of curators for collectors in their network. And that network is based in Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, etc., online social environments where collectors can interact with someone who's looking for their tastes in a live, real-time sense, where they'll go and do a sort of an online show, but here at the show. And they go to all the dealers' booths and they pick up things, and they have a little camera, sometimes mounted on a gimbal, sometimes mounted on their body with a tripod. Okay. And they have an earpiece, and they're talking to the client live.
So they're doing live programming. Okay, yeah.
Immediately from all the different booths that they go to. So they have this large basis of inventory at their fingertips. The dealers have an ability to show their product to a wider audience, so they don't mind if these people are doing it, and then it creates sales. That ability to project that much material over such a large audience is what I feel is going to create a larger population of collectors and enthusiasts in Asia. And I have a funny feeling it's already happening in the US as well, but I think it's going to happen in a new way. Okay. And I think that dynamic is going to change. Tie that back to the concept of these large Chinese ornamental stones. Now you have collectors who can collect smaller, more refined objects, things that they can fit in a showcase, that they can fit in their home, that they can enjoy. And these crystals that they're buying are things that they are able to add to and appreciate over time, where before you couldn't have 10 Chinese ornamental stones because they would fill the volume of a large space.
Right.
Now they can have collections. And that ties into the sort of dynamic of Western collecting.
Now, you're using the term crystal now, which is like we're used to talking minerals. Your use of crystals is, I mean, it seems intentional.
It is intentional. And I mean, the reason why is that if you look at what the current zeitgeist is and what people think about, just the general population, if you say I sell minerals, they think, oh, do you sell aluminum or massive minerals? Do you sell minerals for vitamins? Do you sell, salt? Do you sell tin or, iron or something? What do you mean minerals?
Right.
If you say I sell crystals,
Big
there is an immediate designation to something different.
Okay.
And it's an easier leap or bridge to share the concept of what our industry actually is.
Okay.
Because although we're selling minerals as we know them, combinations of different atoms formed together to make a crystal, the general population doesn't know that. And I think it's the opposite way of trying to teach. They're already accustomed to what a crystal is. There's a huge understanding of metaphysical aspects of crystals, or crystals that they see in museums as they get displayed. They don't go into a museum and go, oh my God, that's an incredible mineral. They go, oh my God, that's an incredible crystal. Crystal of what? When people search things on the internet and on platforms, they search for crystals.
For crystals before minerals.
Before minerals, because they don't know to look for minerals. I think that inversion of understanding that crystals are really the first step into getting into the industry or getting exposed to this world of collecting crystals, gems, fossils, meteorites, and mineral specimens, which they're synonymous, is an important distinction because that allows the community to gain awareness and know where to find things where they might not find it because or they don't understand what a mineral is.
They don't know how to search for it. So is the Chinese lettering between fine and minerals up there really saying Fine Crystals International? Is that the new name of the company?
I was thinking about changing it, doing a DBA, Fine Crystals International. So yeah, we haven't changed that. If I could rewind the clock 25 or 30
you might, right.
I might made it Fine Crystals International, but it's a little late for my brand.
Sure.
But we might do a DBA with crystals in the name.
I love it.
I actually had a company that I opened up as a division of Fine Minerals International long ago called Gem Crystal Treasures.
Oh, okay.
Gem and Crystal Treasures. And I actually had it incorporated, and then I let it go.
That sounds awfully close to the name of the Bancroft book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was very simple. Gem and Crystal Treasures is the name of the Bancroft book.
Right.
And so I think I had that. No, it was Gem Crystal Masterpieces.
Ah, okay.
To make a distinction.
Sure,
because I didn't want to copy Bancroft.
Right.
And I actually had letterhead and all that sort of stuff.
Sweet.
But I let it go because I just tried to keep everything under one umbrella from a administrative aspect.
Sure.
But I was actually onto something back then that I should have followed.
Right. It was your instinct. It was taking you in the right direction.
Absolutely.
So, Daniel, last question before I let you get back to your business here. You were sitting next to me at the opening ceremonies here at the Nanjing Show for opening day, and we were both remarking at the level at which the show was promoting itself and presenting itself at a professional level, sort of the likes of which we haven't seen in the world. Share your thoughts and your perspectives on that.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say that the Asian shows, even from the inception in Changsha, they started doing it at a different level of build out of the booths. The way the buildings that they do it in are incredible, modern, show places. Think of the Jacob Javits Center in New York. They're using buildings like that, and Javits is actually already dated.
Right.
But there are incredible facilities here that allow you to host these shows, and they're able to build beautiful booths, things that we don't see in the U.S. We take a lot of painstaking efforts to display our products incredibly in the U.S. and spend a lot of energy on displays and lighting and less on the booth itself. And I think that's going to change.
Okay.
The Munich show is sort of a bridge between the two worlds. So in the US, the focus is on the object and not as much on the branding. So your cases are top level, your spaces are pretty good, and the objects are wonderful. Whereas here, you have a bit more broad of a build out where the booths are impressive. They're large. They're showing the brand at the same time showcasing the objects. So it's definitely a different level, and they do a lot more ceremony surrounding, celebrating what we are all passionate about. And I think that's a really unique change, is that making that interest, creating that, it's actually sponsored by the government. They give them funds to go out and promote this, because the connection between mining, minerals, crystals, to an aesthetic aspect is, you think about mining and that influence on, technology, on, all innovation is built on what we are able to extract from the ground. I mean,
Right.
Without these rare earth elements, without lithium, without salt, we don't have camera batteries, we don't have Tesla, we don't have a lot of that stuff. So the science runs hand in hand with actually mining and using our resources to be able to create a world that we live in modern technology and the standards of which we live worldwide. And then the government wants to support that because these shows will create awareness and inspiration for younger generations to come in and act to follow those leads, whichever they may be, whether they go into jade carved vases, or they go into fine jewelry, or they go into fine minerals or fine crystals, I should say, or they go into mining for copper or mining for yttrium for, different processes in the world of technology. Creating that awareness and getting people excited about it through an aesthetic aspect. In the pursuit of beauty, that's the easiest way to get people in.
Right on.
So,
Right on. Well, good deal, man.
it's exciting.
Thank you for your time.
You're
Thank you for your perspectives.
Absolutely.
And we'll catch up with you. I know you don't exhibit at St. Marie.
No, but I'll be there.
You'll be there.
Yeah.
But you're probably exhibiting at the new Denver show, the Westminster show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
I'm excited about that.
Right on.
Christoph has got that going smooth, it looks like. And it's
I'm
gonna be a
really
great
looking
show.
forward to that.
Yeah,
So
same.
we'll catch up with you and look at some of your minerals in Denver, but I'll see you in St. Marie.
Sounds good, Brian.
All right, brother.
Take
Take care.
Bye-bye.